Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We're really happy you're here today. If you're learning English, don't worry about being perfect. Our goal is simple. We want to help you improve your English through natural conversations just like the ones people have every day. So, make yourself comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's enjoy today's story together. I'm Luna.
And I'm Doran. Today, we're talking about a boy who said something many English learners have said before. He looked at his teacher and said, "I hate English."
Maybe some of you have felt the same way. Maybe English feels difficult. Maybe you're afraid of making mistakes. Or maybe you don't know where to start. If that's you, this conversation is for you.
Hey, Luna, can I tell you a story?
Of course, I'm listening.
Yesterday, I visited my old middle school. Everything looked almost the same. The classrooms, the playground, even the library. It brought back a lot of memories.
That sounds nice. Did you meet any students?
Yeah, I met a 13-year-old boy. He was sitting alone after class. He looked disappointed. So, I walked over and asked, "Hey, is everything okay?"
And what did he say?
He looked at me, shook his head, and said, "I hate English."
Wow, that's a strong sentence. Did he explain why?
He did. He said, "English is too difficult. I don't understand my teacher. I always forget new words. And when I speak, everyone is better than me."
Oh, that made me feel a little sad because I know that feeling.
Really? Even you?
Yes, people only see me speaking English now. They don't see how many mistakes I made before.
Tell me more.
When I started learning English, I couldn't even introduce myself confidently. If someone asked, "How are you?" sometimes I became so nervous that I forgot everything.
Seriously?
Seriously, sometimes I knew the answer inside my head, but when I opened my mouth, nothing came out.
I think that's exactly what happened to the boy. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't bad at learning. He was simply afraid.
Exactly. Fear can stop people before they even begin.
You know, he also told me something else.
What was it?
He said, "My classmates speak better than I do. They answer every question. They laugh together. But I stay quiet. I think I'm just not good at English."
Oh, that sentence breaks my heart because so many learners think that way.
I looked at him and I remembered myself. Years ago, I said almost the same thing.
Really? You? I don't believe it.
Believe it. When I was in school, English was my weakest subject. I was scared of reading. I was scared of speaking. Honestly, I even hoped the teacher wouldn't call my name.
So, what changed?
That's a long story, but one small decision changed everything.
Now, I'm curious. Tell us what happened.
One day, I went home after another terrible English class. I threw my English book onto my desk and said, "I'm never going to learn this language."
Oh, you were really frustrated.
Very frustrated. My mother heard me. She didn't tell me to study harder. She didn't get angry. She simply sat beside me and asked one question.
What did she ask?
She smiled and said, "Doran, when you were a baby, could you walk?"
That's an interesting question.
I answered, "Of course not." Then she asked, "Did you stop trying after you fell down the first time?"
I think I know the answer.
Exactly. I said, "No, I kept trying." Then she looked at me and said something I'll never forget.
What was it?
She said, "Learning English isn't very different. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to keep getting up."
Wow, that's beautiful.
That night, I made a promise to myself. I wouldn't study for 3 hours. I wouldn't memorize 50 words. I would simply spend 10 minutes every day.
Only 10 minutes?
Yes, just 10 minutes. Some days, I listened to a short conversation. Some days, I learned 5 new words. Sometimes I just read one page out loud.
That's something everyone can do. It doesn't sound impossible.
Exactly. Small goals are easier to follow. And when you reach them, you feel successful. That feeling makes you want to continue.
I think many learners make the same mistake. They want to improve too quickly.
You're right. They expect to understand everything after 1 week. But languages don't work that way. Learning English is more like growing a tree.
Growing a tree? Explain that.
Imagine you plant a small seed. The next morning, you look at it. Nothing happens. The second day, still nothing. The third day, nothing again. Would you dig it up because it hasn't grown yet?
Of course not.
Exactly. You give it water. You wait. You trust the process. One day, it becomes a tree. Learning English is exactly the same.
I love that example. People usually see the tree. They don't see the months of growing.
That's true. People hear someone speaking fluent English and think, wow, they're talented. But they don't see the years of practice, the mistakes, the embarrassment, or the hard work.
You know, that reminds me of something.
What's that?
A student once told me, "Luna, I'm afraid people will laugh if my pronunciation isn't good."
That's a common fear. What did you tell the student?
I smiled and said, "People who laugh aren't helping you grow, but people who encourage you are worth listening to. And remember, every good speaker once sounded like a beginner."
I couldn't agree more.
Actually, making mistakes is a sign that you're learning. If you never make mistakes, maybe you're not trying anything new.
That's exactly what I wanted to tell that young boy. I told him, don't be afraid of speaking. Be afraid of never trying.
How did he react?
He looked at me for a few seconds. Then, for the first time, he smiled. Not a big smile, just a small one. But I could see something had changed.
Sometimes one conversation can change someone's future.
I hope so, because every learner deserves someone who believes in them before they believe in themselves.
We've talked about fear, mistakes, and taking small steps. But there's one more important lesson. How did that boy change after your conversation?
Honestly, I didn't expect much. I thought maybe he would forget our conversation the next day. But something surprising happened.
Really? Tell me.
About 3 months later, I visited the school again. As I was walking through the hallway, someone called my name. Doran! I turned around, and there he was. The same boy, but he looked different.
Different? How?
This time, he was smiling. His eyes looked confident, and instead of hiding, he walked straight toward me.
That already sounds like good news.
He said, "Do you remember me?" I smiled and said, "Of course I do." Then he laughed and said, "I don't hate English anymore."
Aw, that's wonderful.
I asked him what changed. His answer was much simpler than I expected.
What did he say?
He said, "I stopped trying to be the best student. I only tried to become better than yesterday."
That's such a powerful idea.
He also told me he listened to English for 15 minutes every evening. Sometimes he understood everything. Sometimes he understood almost nothing. But he kept listening anyway.
That's exactly how progress works. Not every day feels successful, but every day matters.
Exactly. Then he said something that made me smile.
Now I really want to know.
He said, "I still make mistakes, but now I smile first and correct them later."
I love that. That's a great attitude.
Me too, because confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after many small actions.
That's true. Many learners think, I'll speak English when I become confident. But actually, you become confident because you keep speaking.
Exactly. The first conversation is always the hardest. The second one becomes a little easier. And one day, speaking English feels natural.
You know, there's something I'd like every listener to remember.
Go ahead.
If English feels difficult today, that's okay. If you make mistakes, that's okay. If you need more time than other people, that's okay too. Learning isn't a competition. It's your own journey. Take one step every single day and trust yourself.
Beautifully said. And I'd like to add one more thing. Don't be afraid to sound like a beginner, because every fluent speaker once sounded exactly like one.
That's right. Nobody was born speaking perfect English. Everyone learned one word, one sentence, and one conversation at a time.
Including us. We're still learning too, because learning never really ends.
So, if you're listening today, we have a small challenge for you. Tomorrow, listen to just 10 minutes of English. Learn one new expression and try saying one sentence out loud. That's all. Small steps lead to big changes.
Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about your accent. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Just keep going. Your future self will thank you.
Thank you so much for spending these few minutes with us. We hope today's conversation helped you not only improve your English, but also believe in yourself a little more.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, come back and listen again. Every time you listen, you'll notice something new.
We'll be here waiting for you with another everyday conversation. Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and keep smiling.
And always remember, everyone starts from zero. See you in the next lesson.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy learning.